Today in this video, we will code some Python problem statements. So let's start. The first problem, we can see that there is a dictionary of student details given. What we have to do is we have to display the names and the average marks. So here we can see that the dictionary has the key as 1 and the related value, which is a list. It has the name and the marks obtained in 5 subjects of a particular student whose name is ABC. Same, this is the second record. The key element is 2 and the related value are names and the marks obtained by the student MNO. So what we have to find out is we have to display only the name. In this case, it is ABC and MNO, and also the average marks obtained by the student. So we'll try to do this particular problem. So let's open Python. So this is our dictionary, student details. So since it is a rather a big name, we can reduce it by simply writing SS equals to this. Now, to display the names, if I simply traverse the dictionary for I, E, SS, if I write print SS, I, so when I write print SSI, it will display the related value. Now the related value is a list. So if I want to focus on the first element of the list, which is the name, I can write down the index, I can add the index, so which is 0 in this case, and it will always be 0. So in this case, if I just simply run this code, it will display ABC and MNO, which are the names of the students. Similarly, just if you want to find the average marks obtained, in this case, average marks means first you find the total, and then you find the average marks. Now the average marks can be obtained if I run through this, and we can also before we can declare an empty list where we will push those total marks. So this is an empty list. So what we are doing here is we are running through the dictionary, and instead of printing any values, we are simply appending, suppose. So what we'll be adding is so it ensures that it goes through each and every key element, and we require the numbers. So we can see that the numbers are actually starting from the index element 1. So we take 1 colon. So if I add each and every element like this, we simply need to close it, and let's display L. So here we can see that it is displaying those lists. Okay, so this becomes a nested list. So what we can do is we can find the sum, and then we can quickly find the average also from by traversing this list. So this is one way of doing. The other way also we can do in this way. If I reinitialize again an empty list, and here we can actually have this sum. We can actually append the sum, and in this case it will have actual sum total of those two numbers. So if I add this marks of the first student ABC, I'll be getting 201, and if I add these marks of the student MNO, I'll be getting the marks to 175. So in this case, the average marks will be simply so this is the average marks for the first student, and this will be the average marks for the second student. So we can, if we just calculate in this way, we will be able to extract the name and the average marks of the students from the dictionary. So definitely we can write a user-defined function for this. I leave it to you how you will write down the user-defined function and incorporate all these lines of code in the function. The next question or the next problem that we are going to solve is this one. Suppose we have a tuple t and we have to check whether a number, any number, whether it is present in this tuple or not. So you have to write a function that will accept a tuple and a number in, and it will check if the number is present in the tuple or not. It can be a tuple, it can be a list also instead of a tuple. So it will tell us that whether that particular number is present in the tuple or in the list. So let's try this. We actually will be writing the user-defined function in this case. Here we have not written the user-defined function, but here in this case we'll be writing the user-defined function for that to solve this problem. So let us. So this is our tuple t. So let us write a function. So we know that df, and let us write test, and we are writing a comma b. So a will take the tuple and b will be the number that we are going to test whether it is present in the tuple or not. So what we will do is we'll traverse the tuple. So we write for I in a, and what we are going to do is if I is equals to b. So in this case we can actually change some value that will be easier for us. So we can actually declare a variable out here that has a value say 0. So we name it as flag 0. So if there is a match, we'll change the value of the flag to 1. Okay, now once the for loop ends, we will simply check the value of the flag. So we write if flag. We tell that print the number is present in the list or tuple. The number is present in the tuple in this case. And then we write else. We write on the same thing, but we write it is not present in the tuple. The number is not present in the tuple. No. So it is showing us an invalid syntax because I have not closed the bracket here. So we do it. And here also we have not closed. So let us close it. Okay, now we have a function. The name of the function is test. So we call the function and we are actually running the function and we are testing. So we'll test whether the number 30 is present in the tuple. So it is telling the number is present in the tuple. Let us test with another number deliberately. Let us give 77. We know that 77 is not in the tuple, and it is telling the number is not present in the tuple. Now here one interesting thing is that we have written here if flag. So the thing is that if flag means because the flag of value is 1, so if 1 means if true. Why? Because if I write like this, if true, print haha. Okay, so it will print this particular statement haha. But if I write if not true, that means it is false. then actually this statement will not be printed. This will not be printed. So you can see that it is not, nothing is printed. Same thing happens instead of true if I write 1. If I write 1, it will be printed because 1 in positive logic, true is 1. So it is printing. And here, if I write instead of not true means not 1 means 0 if I write, so it will not be printed. So we can understand that the value of the variable that has changed from 0 to 1, why I am writing if flag. Because if 1 means the same thing, it is true, if true. That means the condition becomes true. Rather, if the condition becomes true, then this is printed. So we are writing if flag, it is the same thing. So I hope you have understood this coding. Now another question might you might ask that why we are writing flag equals to 0. Now let us try to write down this code without flag equals to 0. Suppose if I don't include this flag, so instead of writing flag equals to 1, if there is a match, suppose we are tempted to write down that the number is present in the tuple. Okay, and so the opposite case also we have to include, else the number is not present in the tuple. But the problem with this particular code will be that as if I run this code, it is running through the tuple, and if it is not finding a match, it will be printing every time. It will print either the number is present in the tuple or not present in the tuple. Okay, so so let's see how it works in this case. So if I write down 77, which is not there, you will see. So it is telling that not present in the tuple. It is going through the length of the tuple, and as many number of numbers are there in the tuple. In this case, there are 9 numbers in the tuple, and it is telling me that it is not present. And the other case is that if I write t equals to 30 or 40, so first 3 numbers 10, 20, 30, it is not there, so it will tell it is not present. Then it will tell it is present, and then again it will go through the tuple and it will tell till 90, it will tell it is not present in the tuple, which is not very good, isn't it? That means the code definitely is wrong. So you can see that we should not write the code in this way, and so this is why the flag has been introduced. Now the other thing is that can we shorten our code? Basically, if flag, that means if I flag. So now if flag is equals to 1, now my question is here is that even if the flag is changed to 1, whether it is traversing the tuple or not. Okay, because my code was, I was supposed to find whether a number is present in the tuple or not. Now, if I find the number present in the third or fourth place, why I will traverse the tuple at all? So I can actually use a break statement. If I find flag equals to 1, why not use a break statement out here? And now if I use a break statement, what will happen is it comes out of the uh, coding part, isn't it? Now in that case, what we have to do is we can introduce this flag outside the function, that means a global variable, and then we can actually trace the value of the flag. So we'll recode it. Okay, so let's recode it in this way. So we write flag equals to 0 out here, and then certain things we will not write inside. Okay, so flag is equals to 1, fine. I will be writing break here, no problem. And this portion we can actually test it later on. Okay, now something has happened to flag. See, what is the value of flag? We don't know because the flag is still 0. Unless and until I call this function, the flag is 0. But now I will be calling this function. Now if I call this function, you see the value of the flag has changed. Okay, if I write flag, it is still 0 because um, what happened is actually when I am calling this function t and 40, let's check with this 40. What is the value of t? Let's see. T is having 10, 20, 30, 40. Now here what I'm writing here is I'm changing the value of the flag. Flag equals to 1, but we'll have to write down the value that this flag is 0 and here the flag is 1. So I'm changing which value of the flag. So it should be the global value, global flag. So let's try again. In this case, the value of the flag is showing 0. So here, if I write down global, so actually when I declare flag equals to 1, what is happening is actually I'm declaring it again. So but if I write global flag, it means that I'll be actually referring to the flag that I have declared outside the function. So now this code will work in slightly different way. Now if I write down this thing and the value of flag, we'll see it has actually modified the global value. So here we have to understand that when there is a global variable and when I am redeclaring the value, same variable in the local, so those are two different things. Unless and until I write down this global value, so it will not be. So in this case, what has happened? The code has been shortened. Okay, so once it finds a match, it comes out. The only thing that now we have to do is we can actually check this thing. If flag, you can write down like this: if flag, print the number is present in the tuple, else we can write down the number is not present in the tuple. So we can check that the number is present in the tuple and it is actually telling without scanning the rest of the tuple. Now, for your information that this particular code will work even for a list also. If I change the tuple to a list, t equals to list t, and if I run it, it will be the same thing. That means if I call the function again, so we have to change the value of the flag once more because it's the global value. We write flag equals to 0, and now we are calling this value, we are calling this function, and if I write down, if I call the function now, what is the value of the flag? We'll see that flag has become 1 again from 0. So I can actually run it again, run this code, and it will actually tell me that the number is present in the tuple. So basically, when we are writing this thing in the script mode, okay, this will be useful for us. We can actually write a function, and some lines we can write down outside the function. So the function will actually help to reduce the time that the particular code runs. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and you have understood the importance of writing this particular statement global, and also I hope you have understood that to avoid this particular situation, how we have used the concept of flag in this particular statement. And overall, I hope you have enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to hit on the subscription button so for new other videos that will be definitely coming in your way.